What's up, Chad, and welcome to the video. So today I want to talk about Outback Finance. Now these guys had their launch yesterday, so I wanted to go over their launch, and also it's been probably about a month since I first did a video. I think I did a video on the first day that they opened the Discord. So, a lot of things have gone on since with the project, and then obviously with the launch yesterday, which as you can see didn't go very well. It's an absolute disaster. And yes, wanted to talk about all that kind of stuff. So since I first did my video, Outback actually got bought out by another couple of guys. One of the guys who runs Degen Finance here, which is a tomb fork, and another guy as well who runs another tomb fork called Great Finance, I think it is. So this project originally tended to be a Sphere fork on the Phantom blockchain run by a guy called Chris and a couple of other guys. I think they were American. And so they went ahead and did the pre-sale, and they had all the dates for pre-sale and launched it up. And then right after the pre-sale happened, they then got bought out by these two other guys that wanted to take over, and these guys who run these different projects. And so what happened was the guys who originally involved, Chris and the others, they stayed involved in the project and they kind of run the project together. But there was some stuff that needed changing, and also they were waiting for Sphere version 2 to be released, and all this caused a little bit of delays. So from the time that the initial pre-sale was made and the launch now, I think it's not been a month, but it's been almost a month. So yeah, they finally launched yesterday. Now, as you can see, we are now at, it says less than 50%, but I think now since this is a launch price, I reckon the order price range, it's probably about 8% down now from where it was. You can see they're 86% down now, so there's no turning back really. This has been a complete disaster. So Outback Finance actually launched at over 2x for the private sellers, for the guys who got in the original private pre-sale. And that, along with a few other different factors, I think are what caused this huge dump at launch price. First of all, you have to consider the overall market at the moment. We can just head over to Bitcoin right now. I've got some of my terrible TA on the screen at the minute you don't want to look at. But if we go up to like a 4 hour on the BTC there, you can see that since this little peak here, which is the 29th of March, we are now the 28th of April. We just had 1 month continuous downtrend here. Not only that now, but you go to a daily chart there, you can see it a little bit better. But you can kind of see, can draw on a little trend line here, kind of goes across here. Let's put my other T here on the screen. But you can see this sort of trend line that goes up here. We're now really at the bottom of this now, so we do kind of break out down here. It's not looking good for BTC. There's not really much support, around here they can find after that. So you probably could say that we're heading, into a really bearish trend after that, which I'm only talking about that because, that obviously then affects projects. Like, this isn't the only bad launch I've seen, in this past week or two. Most pre-sale launches now are really, really struggling. There's lots of panic and fear in the crypto market, which then, gives people less desire to buy into projects. So projects are having much less buy pressure at launch. And once a project launches and the buy pressure isn't there and people see there isn't much green, well, then people tend to panic, and then they tend to sell out of their position, even if it's at a slight loss. And then those sells and those red candles at the start, like here, then cause more people to panic and more people to sell out at a loss, and it just causes these huge dumps at launch. Like I say, this is not the only project this has happened to. I've seen many others, more projects fail in this last week or two than are being successful. But that's just the way it is. In these tough times in the market like this, you have to be more conserved, and you have to be really careful about where you're putting your money. This one was a little bit difficult because, like I said, especially for the guys like me who invested in the private pre-sale 1 month ago, it's difficult to calculate and to estimate that, okay, in 1 month's time, the price of Bitcoin is going to be so bad that it's not worth me investing now. We don't know what's going to happen in a month's time. So it's just one of those where, we didn't expect Outback Finance to take this long to launch. We didn't know that the market was going to be so bad. And then, so, you've got a bunch of people that are kind of frustrated that, the money's been kept from them for so long because there's been such a delay in the launch. Then you have maybe another bunch of people that maybe weren't happy with the takeover and they're not really happy with the new owners of the project. So they might have invested in the private sale, then they decided they didn't really want to back the project because of the new owners. Then you have the fact that private sale was up 2x at launch price. 2x right now is really good in this market because, like I say, a lot of things just aren't performing. The buy pressure just isn't there. And all these factors contribute. And also, the public pre-sale was anybody could get in. So the guys were saying that there was people getting in with multiple wallets, and if people with multiple wallets want to sell out at launch, well, that's going to cause a lot of sell pressure as well. So you have a lot of things that, kind of contributed, all kind of acted together to cause this huge dump and pretty much a failure at launch, really. Now, over the last month, we've seen multiple projects do this, and some of them have survived and actually gone back into profits. But, I can name like Super Protocol, Yieldzilla, and a couple of others that had these dumps at launch, and then the price actually recovered and went into the green, and people actually made some profits on the project. But in order for that to happen, once this dump's over and the bottom's in and people then start buying in at a good price, there needs to be enough buy pressure to kind of bring it back up to launch price. If it doesn't, then 9 times out of 10, the project's going to die off, which is what's happened over the last 24 hours. And as you can see here, there just wasn't enough buy pressure. I mean, I know this is 2x here, but you would probably need the price to at least come back to around roughly this sort of level. Or usually, like I say, 9 times out of 10, the project just isn't gonna survive. So that's what happened. There wasn't enough buy pressure. Price started going back down, and now what's happened since is the team this morning. So probably around about this time here, we were just below 0.5 actually when they did the first snapshot. They've now released an announcement. They kind of understand what's happened. There were certain things that was kind of set in stone with this project when they took over that they couldn't change, that they wanted to change. They understand the reality of the situation. They understand that there's kind of no really coming back for this project now. So for all the current holders, what they've done this morning, I can't remember exactly what time it was, but it was around when the price was at 0.0045. Here we go, probably about like this time here. They did a snapshot of all the holders. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and create a new project, and this project is going to be called Degen. And this one's going to be launching in 10 days time. It's got the whitelisted sale in 5 days time here, and all the RU holders, the guys who are still holding at this point here and then still hold up until the day of the Degen launch, are then going to get their equivalent tokens worth of Degen. Now, how it's going to work is whatever your value of tokens were at this point here, which you're going to still get that on this new launch, but your rebases are going to also count. So because obviously the launch isn't going to be for another 10 days, right? So you've also got another 10 days of rebases, which is almost 20% on your investment since then. So you're going to have whatever your value was worth here, plus 20%, and then plus, I think, even more. I think you get another, let me just have a look, I've got the post up here. Yeah, so reading the post, you will get whatever your tokens are worth here, plus the 10 days worth of rebases, which is an extra 20%, plus they're going to give you some extra tokens as well, which will mean that for you, if you bought in like the private pre-sale right first, you probably won't have your equivalents worth at launch price, but at least it's something a little bit extra, so you won't have lost too much, because at this point now with a chart like this, obviously there's no way you can bring something back like this. There just was no buy pressure at all. I don't think Outback Finance as a project and what it's got to offer, being a sphere fork, but then it doesn't have the ecosystem behind it to support it as well. There's just no way that these guys can come back from here. I mean, they have a community of 14,500. Obviously we know that a certain amount that will be bots, but apparently when the snapshot was taken there was only about 750 holders. So there's just no buy pressure. The market isn't good at the moment. People aren't looking to buy into projects like they were a month ago, and this is the decision that the team made. Now for this new project, the difference will be, Degen, so we can go over this in a little bit more detail here. So this will be a sphere fork, but it's going to be integrated into the Degen Finance ecosystem. So it's going to work alongside all the other projects that they're going on, the Degen Finance, TuneFort, the nodes, the NFTs and the games and stuff like this. And the difference as well will be a vesting period. So for the guys that buy into this pre-sale here, that's going to happen in 5 days, and then all the people that hold their root token and are then going to get the airdrop of Degen Nano, those tokens are going to be vested. Now, what the vesting means is that everybody who gets the pirates means they can't dump at launch, so we're not going to see this huge red candle going down because people, I think, are only going to have 10% of the tokens at launch. There we go. So it's going to be 10% daily that we're going to get. So you get, I think, 10% at launch and you get 10% daily. Vesting compared to investing, has its advantages and disadvantages. I mean, in a market like this, it stops this big red candle going down here and just getting completely wrecked in your investment. But what it also does is it kind of slows down progression for however many days or months that the vesting happens for, because price could be going good, but as soon as it comes up to the day that the vesting tokens are released, there always tends to be a sell-off. So maybe before the vesting is released every day for 10 days or 9 days, sorry, there might be a little sell-offs, which is going to kind of prevent price from moving in the correct direction. Now, that's just come from my experience from investing in both vested and unvested projects. Whether you just want to get that big dump out of the way first and then progress, or you want to have just really struggle over the first 10 days to have some decent price action. Then after it you can, but then you're not going to have much of a dump at launch. So yeah, that's just the kind of difference between vested and invested. So this project here, it's going to happen in 10 days time. The new whitelisted pre-sale is going to happen in 5 days time. Now, this, as I say, it's going to be part of the Degen finance ecosystem, so it's going to have a big team behind it. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a little bit less APY, I think, compared to Outback. The buy and sell fees are 10% and 20%, which is, I think, a little bit different as well. This is a token allocation here, where it's saying this also is going to be a little bit different as well, because got this whole ecosystem behind it now. And here's some dates. So the whitelist pre-sale, the general sale and the launch. And this is a team behind it. Like I say, they've got this this big team behind it. And so that's going to be the future of so that's what happened with the launch of Outback Finance. This one was a complete failure, but it's kind of expected in the market right now. So just a bit of advice to anyone really. You've got to be really careful about what you're investing in at the moment. There's too much panic and fear in the market. People aren't buying into the projects. They're not getting the buy pressure that they want. And then when people see that, they panic and tend to sell out. And it's really all in projects. Are really a gamble at the moment. So yeah, just a little bit of advice to stay careful in what you're investing in at the moment. At least it's not all over for the guys that did believe in the project and and did put the confidence in the team and held the tokens, because you're at least going to get a significant amount of what you did have in Outback Finance. You will have lost some money, but at least you get a significant amount of that back, and then you have that in Degen Nano Finance, which hopefully will be better organised and better prepared to perform well after launch. And with the vesting, it shouldn't dump like this project has anyway. So for those guys that have held the tokens so far and do want to participate in Degen Nano Finance as well, it's important that you hold your tokens. Now, they have done a snapshot here, and they did a snapshot a little bit later on as well, but they will be doing a snapshot before the Degen Nano launch as well. So if you sell your tokens between that time, they will do another snapshot, and if they've seen that you sold your tokens, then you're not going to receive the airdrop for the new project. And considering that after that first snapshot they did here, your price is locked in here anyway, so whatever your tokens were worth at this price here is how much you're going to get airdrop for Degen Nano. So selling off now is just, this has been like a lot of people still selling off anyway, but selling your tokens off now really isn't a smart move, because you've already lost loads of money from selling out at this price now compared to where the price launched at, and you can actually get more money by holding and then receiving the airdrop for the next project. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for everything that I wanted to talk about with this launch today. Just goes to show that we don't always things don't always go the way that we want them to go. And yeah, this is decentralized finance, and anything can happen. A little reminder for you guys that do watch my videos: I've got a Discord community that is open to the public, and anybody can join. So the link to that is in the description below. We are looking for more members to come and participate and be part of the community, share ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be cool if you guys could come over and join us over there. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video. Thanks for listening. Until next time, guys. Bye.